Hello, let's do the New York Times Medium Sudoku for June 1st, 2024. There is a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself in the same Sudoku pad software that I do, which supports multiple notation systems, which the New York Times built-in software does not. And I do utilize both of those notation systems, quarter marks and center marks. So I do recommend solving in Sudoku pad over the New York Times software if this is a technique you'd like to use. Otherwise, you can try to adapt the technique to the more limited software, but I don't have great advice for you on how to do so. Anyway, in addition to that, I do follow a systematic method for these solves. If you'd like to learn more in depth about this method and how every technique works logically from base principles, check the link in the description to everything you need to know to solve the New York Times Sudokus, I believe is what I titled that. I'll have that in the description of every medium solve, and so that should give you more context if you haven't watched that one. But I will try to follow that method in this solve as best as I can. And I will explain things that I think are a little bit more complex than I'd expect you to remember from the basics. Okay, so hopefully that's clear, and I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so this 2 and 4, we're looking for a 2 and 4 here and here. Don't see any. We have the 1, 7, 8. We do have a duplicate 7. So the 7 has a buddy. Those 7s look in. This 7 down here looks up. That's when we kind of look out of the band. We're scanning band by band. You really look out of the band only just to confirm if there's anything of that digit helping out down here. And so this 7 does help out, and it helps us place the 7 in this box because we have hidden single 7. This is the only cell that can be 7. Okay, so that's it for duplicates. Do we have any filled box rows? No. Do we have any rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer? No, we don't. Okay, so we move on to the next band. We've got the 2 and the 4 here. No buddies for that. We have the 3, 6, and 9. The 3 and 9 both have buddies. We take them one at a time. These 3s, we have this 3 looking up. There's a 3 in one of these two. We use corner marks to represent that within this box, the 3 has been limited to these two cells. We also have the 9, so these two 9s look in as well, putting a 9 in one of these two cells. This just helps remind us for later because we're going to be marking up quite a bit. We don't want to have to try to remember that all ourselves. We don't have to. All right, no filled box rows. Any rows or boxes down to 4 or fewer? I don't see any. Let's move on to the next. We have the 2. We have 1, 3, 6, 7. No buddies. Really not much to do in this band at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We have this 2. You can see that we have this 2 looking in, and this is a filled box column. We'll do that in just a moment because we want to do the easy duplicates first. So we're going to do this 1, 7, 8 here. We see that we have a duplicate 8. Those look down. That does put an 8 here. Now this is a filled box column. So we look at these cells for any digits that aren't already placed in the box. So the 8 and the 1 and the 7 and the 2 qualify. I'm going to do them one at a time. So we have this 1 looking in. That puts a 1 in one of these two. And we follow up on that by saying that these ones point down. Whenever you do it this way with this filled box column, you're going to be finding that there's another buddy down here. And the way that we prove that, there's a few ways to prove it, but the way that I like to prove it is via pointing, because pointing in general is helpful to understand, which is that in this box, the 1 has been reduced to either here or here. It's going to be in one of these two cells. Well, if it's here, it's not going to be here. It points at the rest of the column and says no more 1s because I need the 1 for the column. There's only a single 1 in the column. So these can't be 1, these can't be 1. This one looks in, so 1's down here. We also have this 2 looking in, and then we can see that this 2 helps out, and so there's only one place for 2. So that places the 2, that displaced our 1 corner mark, that then places the 1 here. Now this 2 we follow up on, and that does put a 2 in one of these 3. Now we also want to make sure we follow up on the band, because we just placed some digits. So we want to look for a buddy 1, look for a buddy 2. We do have a buddy 2, so we can put a 2 in one of these two. Did we fill a box row? We did not. Did we reduce a row or box to 4 or fewer? Yeah, we have 3 here and we have 4 here. We'll deal with this in a moment because we're still looking at the stack. But here we should look at this row just to double check. So what do we have in this? What do we still need in this row is what we want to think about. Well, we need a 1, 5, 7, 8. And we're looking for 1s, 5s, 7s, and 8s that might help out. So I have this 1 here, I have this 7 here, I have this 1 here. So We also have this 8. So in general, this can't be 1, 8. So this is going to be 5. Hold on. Did I say 1, 5, 7, 8? Yeah, and this sees 1, 5, 8. So this can only be 7. This is a naked single 7. It can't be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. And so it is down to just 7. And then that means that these are safe to just pencil because we only center mark when we have 3 or fewer digits left. We use center marks. Here, when we do it first, we need the 1. We have 2, 3, 4. We need 5, and we need 8. This can't be 1. So we use center marks to denote that that specific cell has been reduced to those options. Remember, our corner marks were about the box. The box needs a 3, and these are the options for the 3. These are the cells that could be 3. Here, this cell needs to have a value in it. These are the options for the values I could put in that cell, the digits I could put in that cell. So this cell will end up 5 or 8 only. It doesn't tell us anything about the box or the row or the column. It tells us about the cell and what digit we're going to end up placing in that cell. Okay, so we did we marked 2s up here, but this can't be the 2. Let's fix that. So we had that. Let's just finish this box with a pair here. We've got 1, 2, 3. We need 4, 4, and 6. So it's not resolved. But now you can see that this was going to be 4, 6, 7 for the column, and you can see it saw the 4, 6. That's another reason to think about why it would be a naked single. All right, so this 4, 6 pair, it does affect the rest of the column. This is called a naked pair because this cell is 4 or 6, this cell is 4 or 6. They can't be the same digit as each other, so they're going to be different digits. So one will be 4, one will be 6. Either way, these will see a 4 and a 6. So these are the 3 digits that are missing from the column other than the 4, 6. So we need the 3, we need the 5, and we need the 9. This can't be 5 because of the row, and this can't be 3 because of the row. Very nice. All right. We do want to follow up on the 7 we placed as well, if we can. I'm not seeing much to do with it, though, so nothing really to follow up on. This is a filled box row, but we already know everything about the box. Filled box rows only help you if there's possibly corner marks that you haven't done yet. And we know there's not corner marks we haven't done yet. We just have this 4, 6 pair left. Okay. I think let's keep looking at this stack here, just make sure we caught everything. So the 7 we need to follow up on this way. And that puts a 7 in one of these two. And now we have overlapping corner marks. So the 1s and the 7s, so that's 2 corner marks, 2 distinct digits that are corner marked in the same 2 cells and no other cells. So 2 digits have been restricted to 2 cells. That's a hidden pair. And I do go over this more closely in the video I linked, but that means that these cells can only be 1, 7 because we need to fit the 1 and the 7 into the box. And so now what we want to think about is what were the digits that could have been here that can no longer be here. And I think referencing these might be helpful, like the 6 here. This 6 looking in here, now these can't be 6. So that does put a 6 in one of these two. And then also referencing anything over here that might have been helpful that now these can't be. So the 2, for example, is already in the box. 1 is part of the 1, 7, 9. So 9 looks down. Unfortunately, 9 can be in these 3, right? But it still was worth looking. And we can see how 9 is somewhat restricted, and we might be able to do something about that later. Okay. The other thing I noticed is, I should have noticed this right away, is I did pencil the 3, 5, 9 triple here. And when I did so, this couldn't be 5. And so that means the 5 is limited to these 2 cells. And that does something called claiming. It's very similar to pointing, but it's called claiming because this column needs a 5, and it's in one of these 2 cells, both of which are in this box. Meaning the 5 for the box needs to be in this column, meaning it can't be anywhere else. And so this 5 is going to... basically, you can also think about these 5s pointing if you want. But anyway, this box also needs a 5. It's going to be here. And so these can't be 5 is the important bit that we just discovered. Okay, so is there more we can talk about? This column, because this is 1, 7, this column has 4 digits remaining. So we can think about what those are. They are the 2, and I already have the 2 marked up here. We need the 4, 6, 8, 9. So 2, 4, 6. Wait, no, not 8. 2, 4, 6, 9. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 9 looks correct. This can't be 2 or 6, so this is down to 4, 9. This can't be 4, so this is 2, 6, 9. This can't be 2 or 6, so this is 4, 9. There we go. So because this cell can't be 2, 6, and this cell can't be 2, 6, we only have 2 cells left for 2, 6. And so this is a hidden 2-6. Alternatively, you could have seen that this was a naked 4-9 pair, and which eliminates 4 and 9 from these, making them 2-6. Same exact thing. It's the same. We notice the same thing. It's just two different ways of noticing the same thing. Nakeds and hiddens are two sides of the same coin. If you find one, you're going to find the other. Okay. One moment. What else can we say about this? So we got the 2-6 pair. So that means that this has 4 remaining. So let's think about that. What are they? They are the 3, 4, 5, 9. These can't be 9. So these are 3, 4, 5, and this can't be the 4. So actually 9 is in one of these two cells. I could mark that. We have the 5 here already. 4 is in one of these two cells. That's handy. So we've discovered that in this box, the 4 is reduced to these two. Let's see what caused that. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, so this was caused by our hidden 2-6 pair, right? Or a naked 4-9. Because this 4 looked in. And then we also had this 4-6 pair down here, taking 4 out of here. And then we also had this hidden 2-6 pair, or the naked 4-9 pair, taking 4 out of here. And that's a really complex way of getting 4 limited to these two cells. But these do point, saying these can't be 4. This 4 looks in, and that leaves a 4 for one of these two cells. The important thing for us to remember is these can't be 4 anymore, and that's what these corner marks are going to try to help us do. Okay, so I think we have thoroughly investigated this stack. We found quite a bit. Let's move on to the next stack here. So I'm going to start with this 6 and 7. We do have two 7s. That lets us place the 7 here. Follow up, right, on the band. These 7s look in, putting a 7 in one of these two. This 7 looks down, saying this is the 7. And now there's only one place for 9, because this did have a corner mark 9 in it. That now can't be 9. So that's now the 9. And that leaves a triple behind for this row. We need the 4, 5, 6. This can't, neither of these can be the 6. So the 6 ends up here for the row, giving us this, the 4. And then now this is going to be a 4, 5 pair, and this is resolved. That's 5, that's 4. So this can't be 5 anymore, leaving 5 over here. And these are 1, 2, 8. Alrighty. Let's see. We just got a bunch of stuff over here, but it's just the resolved 4, 6 pair actually that we got. And so that's not helpful for the stack because we already knew it was a pair. We got this 5 and 4. Is that helpful? 5s are marked, 4s are done. The 2s pointing isn't super helpful. Okay, I think that's all we get follow-up wise for this band for now. Let's take a look at this stack again. We got the 7, so we were going to look at the 6 as well. 6 is in one of these two. So we have the 6, 7. We also need to look at 2, 4. So the 2 does not have a buddy. The 4 does, though. The 4 is looked down, putting a 4 here. In general now, let's see. This filled box column, it's not helpful because we already know where all the corner marks would end up in this box. It's fully marked up. But we do have this column down to 4 open cells. So we want to think about it. We already know these are worth marking because they aren't 4. But let's just think about it first. So we need 1, 4, 5, and 8. So I'm saying this can't be 4, 8. So this is only 1, 5. This can't be 4 or 5. So this is only 1, 8. And these are 1, 4, 5, 8. These can be anything. Okay. Now whenever we mark whenever we center mark a cell, we want to check the cells around it, rows, columns, boxes, to see if we managed to form a pair or a triple, a naked pair or triple. And in this case, we did not, but always good to be checking. Okay, there's no other columns or boxes down to 4 or fewer. So we're going to do this final stack. And then if that doesn't finish the puzzle, we are going to go box by box. That's kind of our next phase. So we have this 1 and 3. They don't have a buddy. We have 5, 6, 7. The 7 does have a buddy. So 7 ends up down here somewhere. In fact, with 7s, we are just down to this rectangle of 7s. We just have to place 2 more 7s, either like this or like this. All right, so that was the 7. 5, 6 didn't have a buddy. No filled box columns, any columns or boxes down to 4 or fewer? No. So that's all we get for now. That's all we get for our bands and our stacks, unless we miss something. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go box by box, and there's a few things we're going to check for. The first thing is any corner marks we have, we want to make sure the box is respecting it, and we want to make sure there's any pointing or claiming being respected. So like the 9s are marked here, make sure nothing else is 9. We have a 2-6 pair, make sure nothing else is 2-6. We have these 5s, they point down, make sure we didn't mark any 5s down here, right? We do have them marked here. That sort of thing. The 4 is pointing, make sure we know these can't be 4, right? We have that marked. We didn't mark these up yet. So this box is basically respected. And we have it fully marked up, so there's nothing internal to the box that we might be able to find. Okay, now we look at this box here. We have the 6's corner marked. Make sure that that's respected vertically. Make sure it's respected within the box. So what we want to be looking for is anything that we may have failed to notice is a good corner mark. So what I like to do is I like to focus on 2 givens at a time. So like this 2-7 here. And what we want to do is we want to, because it's 2 givens, there's always going to be at least 1 row and 1 column that they aren't in. In this case, there's 1 column they aren't in. So because there's the column is only 1, it's good to at least just take a glance at what are the givens we know about in that column, and are any of them not placed in the box, are not corner marked in the box yet. So the 6 and 7, the 6 is corner marked, the 7 is placed. We haven't done anything with the 5 marking yet. So now what we do is we want to look at the 2 rows that they aren't in, and we're just looking for a 5. And we actually find one here. And so what do these 5s do? Well, this 5 looks in, this 5 looks in, and this 2 and 7 occupy 2 spots that aren't 5. Do you see how that works? I call this a crossing, because the 5s kind of cross in, and they cross around these 2 givens we were looking at. And when you find a crossing, you're either going to be able to place a digit, in this case we can't, or you're going to get pointing, because we've reduced it to 2 places in the box, and those 2 places are guaranteed to be in the same row, because we've used 2 givens that were in the same row. And so these 5s point, saying that the rest of the row can't be 5. So this corner mark 5 and center mark 5 are actually inaccurate. And so that lets us place this as a 3, and it also lets us place this 5, because we have this corner marked as a 5, which then lets us place the 4, which lets us place the 9. So that resolved a whole lot of stuff, because we looked at this box a little bit more carefully, not just looking at what the band alone does or what the stack alone does. And so now that we got all these digits, we do want to follow up. Let's do the red markings first. So this 4 does make this a naked 9, which makes this a 5 and a 3. And now we're just down to this triple. It's going to be 4, 6, 8. That's not a 6. Okay. So we don't need any other markings here or looking at anything else. We just have these vertical pairs and triples, which are going to have to get resolved externally anyway. But we also got a bunch of digits. We should rescan these bands because we got this 5, we got the 3, 4, and 9. So let's just go in order. The 3, does the 3 have any interesting effect? Not that I can tell. Actually, no. The 3 has a crossing on this 5, 6, which we might as well do now. So I noticed we have this 3 here and this 3 here. And that does put a 3 in one of these 2. That eliminates this 3, placing this 3 here. That reduces this box to 1, 2, 5, 8. Oh, no, not 2. Sorry, it's 1, 1, 5, 6, 8. So yeah, the 6 ends up in one of these 2. And these can't be 5, so these are 1, 6, 8. That's not a 1. Okay. The 3s... Yeah, okay. Nothing else really defined with 3s, I guess. Cool. So we got the 3. That's what the 3 did. Nothing to this box, though. We got the 4. We have these 2 4s. That's already marked. We got the 5. That's already marked. And then we got the 9. The 9 is not a crossing, right? Because this 9 looking in, this 9 looking in, it leaves 3 places for 9. The unfortunate thing is that this 9 was in line with this 5, 6. In this box here, we do have another 9 helping. And so that is a crossing on this 4, 7. It doesn't cause pointing, but we can mark that 9's in one of these 2, which can still be helpful. Okay, so we were focusing on this box. Let's keep focusing on it. The other thing I'm noticing at this point is we have a lot of corner marks in this box, and none of them are here. That makes me suspicious of this cell. So I just want to think about what it could be. It could be a 1. It can't be 2. I think it could be 3. It can't be 4. 5 is marked. 5. 6 is marked. Can't be 7. I think it can't be 9. I think it could be 8, though. Darn, that's not as restricted as I hoped, but it is worth marking. Okay. I think that's what we get out of this box, but we did reduce this row to 3 or fewer, so let's think about this row. We need a 3, 8, 9. 3, 8, 9. I'm just going to mark it, 3, 8, 9. Oh, and this can't be 3 or 9. I didn't notice that. Yeah, we have these 3s corner marked, but also we have this 3 way down here. There we go. This can't be 3, and it can't be 9. Oh yeah, just the column has 3 and 9. That's the reason. Okay, so now it has to be an 8 because of that. These can't be 8 anymore. That means 8's in one of these two. That's going to point down along with this 8, putting 8 somewhere in these three. We can also clean up these 8s, leaving a 3-9 pair. We always are scanning to see if those help out in any other way. I'm noticing these are almost a triple, 1, 3, 8, 9. It's 4 digits, but I don't think we can do anything with that. We do have 8 in this box. We have these two 8s looking in, so 8 in this box is up here, so we can mark that. Is there anything else with this band that I might want to look at before I move on to this box? I don't think so. I think this is good. Let's take a look at this box now. So I'm really interested in anything that might be seeing up this way, because this is an empty column and it leaves 2 cells behind, right? So we want to look at the 1 and the 2 here, and we do notice that both 1 and 2 are not in the box yet. So that 1 and 2 looking up leaves just 2 places for 1 and 2 in this box. That is a hidden pair. So we can center mark 1, 2 there, and we can eliminate any other digit. So this can't be 4. Imagine if this was 4. Where am I going to put 1 in this box? Well, the only place is here. Okay, now where am I going to put 2 in the box? Uh-oh. Can't put a 2. It needed to be here. So this is a 1, 2 pair. This cannot be 4. This is 4, which makes this a 3. And then finishes this cell with a 9. And that's super helpful. We had this 9 corner mark, so now this is the 9. We also... Let's see, did we get anything else? Well, we can clean up this 9 here. I don't think we got anything else out of that. This row is down to 1, 2, 5, 6. This can't be 2, so it's 1, 5, 6. Because it couldn't be 2, I scanned to see what could be 2 in the row, and I found it was 2 places. But if you don't scan when you don't find anything, you're not going to scan when you do find something. So always be scanning. New information, scan what that information means is basically the crux of it. We did get this 9. We want to finish. We want to scan the stack to see how that affects the stack. We end up with a 9 on one of these two. We also have these 2 9s looking down, leaving a 9 one of these two. I had missed that here. We want to. I didn't follow up on these stacks very well. So we also have the 4s, putting a 4 here. Anything else? We got a bunch of digits here. We got these digits here. Let's just make sure we followed up on all that for the stacks. Okay, I think that's good. This stack also has 4 remaining. So we need 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 6, 7, 8. This is anything. Oh, no, sorry. This can't be 8. Remember, the 8s are here. So these can't be 8. So this is 5, 6, 7. Very nice. Okay. This row is down to 4 now that I'm noticing it. So let's think about it. We need a 3, 4, 5, 8. 3, 4, 5, 8. This cannot be 3, 4, or 5. So this is a naked single 8. Ooh, did I list enough digits? 3, 4, 5, 8. Yeah, I think I did. 3, 4, 5, 8. Yeah, okay. And it can't be 3, 4, 5. Just double checking, because yeah, okay. So that's a naked 8. That makes this a 4. That makes this a 4. Because it had a lot. It does a lot, and whenever it does that, I'm like, let's just double check that I did that right. But this is now down to 3, 8. This, no, sorry, not 3, 8. Good thing it's not 3, 8. It's 3, 5. This can't be the 3. So this is 5, this is 3. I think we might have cracked the puzzle. This is 6 and 2, this is 1. We get our 8 and 5. Let's just do the easy stuff. So this 1 gives us the 8. Clean that up. We get our 5 here, which gives us the 6. This is 1, 3, 8. It can't be 3 or 8. So we get our 1, 8, and 3. We get our 6 and 2. This top band's done, and this middle band is done. And so whenever you have 2 bands completely done, you're guaranteed to just be finishing the puzzle unless you broke it. All right, so that's our 1 for that column. And I recommend just looking at the pairs we've got left in the columns. These all finish. And so this pair for the column, we need a 2. And every time I say a number, I'm hoping that it's just placeable. So I don't have to mark it up. We need 2 and 8. The 8 is placeable. So we have the 8 and the 2. Here we've got, we know one of them's 9. What's the other one? It's 5. So the 5 is placeable, giving us the 9. And this 9, last digit's a 2, and we're done. Cool. All right. Well, interesting puzzle today. There were a couple crossings that seemed really important. We had the crossing on 5s here, these 5s and these 5s, giving us pointing 5s. And we ended up getting this 3 here, which then caused crossing 3s here, which gave us pointing 3s. I think both of those were very important to find. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.